Common Sense Radio.
So, what a day yesterday for President Trump. Beginning, or semi-beginning, with him boarding Air Force One for the first time.
Yeah, he screwed that up, didn't he?
What did you... I didn't see that.
He didn't?
No.
He didn't turn around and wave to the press corps.
Oh!
And everyone's all bent out of shape about it. It's like, why would he wave to you? What would he... You know, if he waves, you better hope he uses all 5 fingers.
Exactly.
He's not exactly their biggest fan.
Well, so, because when you said he screwed that up, I'm thinking... Because that doesn't sound like a screw-up. That sounds like an awesome thing to do.
Yeah, he didn't wave. It was a big deal.
I love it. And then he went in and goes, look at this ghetto metal cylinder I'm in here. This is no Trump 757. But Pippi pointed out earlier, though, it is kind of true, and certainly no disrespect to the Air Force or, you know, just don't get your undies in a bundle about this, but it did kind of seem, and it also seems like that way when he's in the Oval Office, that it seems like things look kind of simple.
Yeah, they're just not
Stripped
as
down.
nice
Him in them.
as Trump would normally be seen in. It looked like 80s. Like, you look at the Air Force One,
Yeah.
it looked like he was sitting in, like, an 80s plane movie set.
Yeah, it did.
It does.
It's very beige.
Yeah, very beige.
Very beige.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Look
when
kinda
you...
old.
Yeah, well, D.C. is oddly like that. It's kind of like when you go to Graceland, and visit Graceland, and it's kind of this time capsule almost. And I would imagine that Air Force One, and even the White House for that matter, is similar because the White House obviously has been around for a long time and nothing really has necessarily changed about it in terms of its how it's built and designed and everything else. Mm-hmm. And so you're essentially it's no Trump Tower. That's
It is
that's
what
for
it is,
sure.
Yeah.
Which is why Melania's like, I'm not
I
sleeping
can't live
in there.
like this.
Exactly. It's like Green Acres.
It's like, what did you get us into?
Right, exactly. So anyway, but President Trump really, I thought, nailed it down yesterday with the GOP leadership. I thought he was direct as he could possibly be when he talked about getting people, back to work. Cut number 9 here is Donald Trump before the GOP guys.
We want to get our people off of welfare and back to work. So important.
And you know what's great about this, Andy Frey, is that it's a Republican saying this, but it's not a Republican saying it with the design of just simply cutting welfare.
Right.
It's a person who's saying, I'm going to make it so that people don't need to be on it or don't want to be on it.
And that's always been the conservative viewpoint, but they don't articulate that well at all. And then the Democrats that are completely complicit with the media can easily say that Republicans want to come in and stop helping poor people. They hate poor people. And I don't understand why conservatives, Republicans don't understand that they don't control their own message.
Right.
And here's Donald Trump doing it.
Yeah,
So-
and because normally you'd hear a speech and it was like, we need to cut the food stamp program. People are abusing that kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's so much more constructive and productive to be a conservative and talk in that fashion. And it's ironic considering how many conservatives said that Trump isn't conservative enough.
Right.
And yet, to me, his messaging, at least when it comes to the economy, is right on.
Yeah, well, I think it's because it's just not so politically charged.
Right.
He's not worried about his next election. He's worried about tomorrow because tomorrow Lord knows what he's gonna do tomorrow. But conservatives are always missing the point to explain how good conservatism is for people. We're always defending ourselves. We're always letting the liberal movement say, conservatives want to do this, conservatives want to do that. Just look at the signs at the Women's March. Then you know what they think of conservatives. If they think that about Donald Trump, they think that about us.
Right, and I think one of the problems too, and it's great you pointed out the problem with messaging. It's like when people called it compassionate conservatism, and it's like, well, conservatism, by its very nature, in my opinion, and people would probably disagree, or some people would, is by its very nature compassionate.
Absolutely.
So because of how it develops and empowers the individual over the government, and to me, you can't get much more compassionate than that.
Yes, we believe in the people. We believe in giving people a chance to make something of themselves and not limiting what success they can have. And the other side will say, you can't do it by yourself. You need help. You need me. You need me to win this office so that you can have what you need to have. And without me, you're nothing. You're poor. You're left. And that other side over there, they want you to stay there. That's,
Right.
I mean, that's the message that's out there every election.
And I think the people on the left are very afraid that they're suddenly going to lose
Yes.
that ability to instill fear among their base, because once things start to improve, if they do, and it looks like, even with the stock market, for crying out loud, the indications are there's a lot of confidence out there. Companies are starting to say, hey, you know what? I think we can make a living here. Mm-hmm. And once that starts to happen, listen, the Democrats have already lost the unions.
Yeah.
Or at least the union leadership, and clearly by the vote, union membership. And they're on their way to losing a lot of people who otherwise were taught that they need Democrats to survive, and they really don't. So we'll see you, Annie Frey, on the Annie Frey Show tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, 5 to 7, and Annie's Facebook post, the now famous Facebook post, up on the electric stove.